First, there was Breakin, which was meh. Then, there was Breakin 2 Electric Boogaloo, a movie so insane it tears a hole in time and space. But few know there's a third entrant in the Breakerverse, a completion to the Boogalilogy, if you will. And that movie's name is RAPPIN! Rap, rap, ribbity rap!
Rip, rap, ribbity-doo!
By the way, those noises I just made, that's better than most of the rapping you will hear in this movie.
My name is Ice and I own this town. That's only when Hood's not around.
Now, it's actually a huge stretch to call Rappin' a direct sequel to the Breakin' movies, because other than their mutual disdain for the letter G, this trio of movies has exactly 3 things in common. 1, the same production team, 2, cameo appearances by Ice-T, and 3, this stupid Civil War hat. And that's it! But as a spiritual sequel, Rappin' definitely carries that same brand of enthusiastic stupidity that boggled our minds in Electric Boogaloo. As the name suggests, Rappin' was another attempt by Cinematic Cheese Factory Cannon Films and Golan Globus Productions to exploit a hot trend in urban youth culture, this time the growing popularity of 80s hip-hop. And who better to direct such a film than a 58-year-old white man from Tel Aviv? Joel Silberg directed the first Breakin' movie, but instead of doing the sequel, he was given the reins to this gem, which granted sounds like a terrible, terrible match. But to Joel's credit, technically, Rappin' was a comedic musical, and most of Joel's experience had been in Hebrew language musicals and comedies. But let's be honest, this is an exploitation movie, and what it's exploiting is a certain popular trend from a certain culture by a team of guys who understood neither, and the results are exactly what you'd expect. But on the positive side, what Rappin' does have is a surprisingly good cast of now famous actors. In the starring role, we got Mario Van Peebles, who would become a recognizable leading man in the 80s and 90s. Along with him, we have the very first on-screen role of Eric LaSalle, who's now got an IMDb page as long as your leg. And in a supporting role, we got Kadeem Hardison, who in 2 years would become the hottest new star on television. It's just too bad none of them can rap. And before getting into the story, I just want to note that every single online synopsis for this movie is wrong. They all say the same thing. An ex-con and breakdancer helps save a neighborhood from a greedy developer while trying to win a rap contest. Okay, the developer thing is correct, but he never breakdances, and there is no rap contest. I don't know where they're getting this from. Rappin' is the story of Rappin' John Hood. Get it? It's like Robin Hood? Yeah, but they don't do much with that though. Who just got released from Castle Dracula after serving time for, I don't know, being too pretty? They never explain why he was in prison. So Hood returns home to what has gotta be the most diverse neighborhood since the one on Sesame Street. I mean, you got old Slavic immigrant types, you got dudes from China, you got cowboys for some reason, and this dude with a bullwhip, this is Ice, and he's one bad character. Literally, none of the characters are very well developed. So it looks like Hood and Ice are gonna fight, but then it just turns into this kind of bromance ritual thing, which I guess they do because they're not allowed to kiss. The fact that this movie teases fighting but then gives us this highlights one obvious issue that pervades this movie. Everything is so mild. Anytime the movie wants to suggest that something is hip or cool or tough or street, it always goes for the mildest option possible. I'm talking hospital food mild, boiled celery mild, which I'm gonna keep track of using this mildometer here. Our current level of mildness is ketchup. The second thing you'll notice from this opening is the minimal effort that's gonna be put into this movie's direction. Now, I don't want to dunk too hard on Joel Silberg, but he just doesn't seem interested in doing more than the absolute minimum necessary to get this film in the can. Case in point right here, where Hood does his little spinny move on the sidewalk. You couldn't have picked that piece of crap off the ground? That would have taken like 1 second. Oh, and speaking of bland and low effort, this soundtrack.
Rappin' Hood, rappin' Hood, rappin' Hood.
Mild. So Hood returns home and reunites with little bro and grandma, and they're so excited it's time to
party with grandma.
All right, check it out. I'm gonna call you out, sucker.
What are you doing? No, stop that!
With the Hood Brothers, two of a kind, very fresh and oh so fine.
He's kicking it old school.
Now, I'm a rather Caucasian fellow, and I got the gallon jug of Sam's Club mayonnaise to prove it. And while I don't know Lil Wayne from House of Pain, even I know this shit is whack as hell. This is like Mr. Plow levels of rap skill.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm Mr. Plow, and I'm here to say I'm the plowingest guy in the USA.
Double trouble, two of a kind. We both like girls with big behinds.
Dude, that's your grandmother. Now we're at the club, and you know what? I don't know how anyone in the 80s managed to take anyone else seriously. But uh-oh, there's trouble, and... This is gonna be a motif in this movie, isn't it? Dudes look like they're gonna fight, but then it just gets homoerotic. And I mean very homoerotic. Get a room, you two. And as for the dancing, mild. Bro, this is the team who brought us Breakin 2 Electric Boogaloo. Don't bring that weak shit in here. So Hood arrives, and in a terribly blocked and directed scene, we meet one of our villains, who I'm calling Andrew Dunce Clay. See, Dunce used to run with Hood, but now he's not only stolen Hood's old crew, but his old girlfriend Dixie. But it looks like they're gonna fight, so you know what that means.
Since you've been away, I'm a whole lot bigger. You didn't let those boys in prison change anything except your hairstyle, did you? Hit me! Come on, Hood!
Mild! So Dixie follows Hood into the crapper, where Hood explains how jail turned him into a weenie, and Dixie expresses her continued affections by dabbing his knuckles with toilet paper.
The hell you doing in here?
I was just gonna...
All yours. Get over here. Bathroom, fool!
Time to introduce the most subtle and nuanced character of this movie. Meet Fats. Called so because he's fat. And he never does anything except eat and talk about eating because he's fat. In fact, his character is so one-dimensional, they do an entire musical number about it.
Open up, stuff it in. Eat 'em up, drink it down.
And it is so bad.
I gotta be cautious of my calories, so I decided down impropriety.
I mean, what's even the point of having a beat if you're just gonna ignore it? I've heard better rapping from the elderly.
Hip hop, a hippie to the hippie to the hip hip.
Speaking of, we then meet the best character of this movie.
What the hell is this? God damn it! Richie, you're fired!
Dude, I want the movie to be about this guy. Now this is one of those movies where just to fill time they have all these random musical acts, including this mini boy band performing their pop smash, Golly G.
Golly gee, honey, can't you see he don't love you?
Dude, we have 10-year-olds singing a love song to 4-year-olds. Oh, you got what she needs, do ya? Tell me, 10-year-old boy, what does a woman really need? I wanna know. But of course, Hood's gotta show up and ruin everything by doing some kind of Sesame Street shit.
Yellow is a mellow, it's lots of fun. It's the color I wear when I don't get sun. Green is the color of cash, the color of a roster stash.
Now, where would I rank Mario Van Peebles in the history of MCs? No.
I'm the master rapper and
Well,
I'm here to sing.
My name is Ian Duncan and I'm here to say I'm going to rap to the beat in a rapping way.
okay, I'd rank him above John Oliver, but still beneath Barney Rubble. So here's Dixie again, and she says, "Hey, you're really good. I work for a record company now. I could get you an audition." Wow, there's a quick way to lose your job.
I'm not an entertainer.
Listen to the man, Dixie. So anyway, we gotta get some plot going. Now, if you remember Breakin 2, the whole deal there was some rich, soulless real estate developer wanted to bulldoze the neighborhood. So for Rappin', the producers thought, yeah, let's just do that again. Only this time, the big boss is radio personality Wolfman Jack.
Listen, Thorndike, we've got a contract.
So the dude's toady named, Cedric. So Cedric the less than entertaining goes around putting up eviction notices. And is there a name for this character trope? The nerdy black guy who's sold out to the man and now he's screwing people over? Someone shout out Prim's Hood Cinema, he's gotta know. Then there's some drama where Hood's little brother steals Cedric's car radio and Hood promises to get it back, but the little brother runs away and... I'm getting bored just talking about it. It's so mild. Okay, we need something here. Anything to make this movie worth watching right now. Wait, who is that? Can it be?
Ice-T? That's right, it's me, Ice-T. I care now. You make me care more.
You know what? I'm not gonna give Ice-T any shade for being in this. He was still on his way up and was just trying to get his stuff out there. Plus, he is the only thing giving this movie the tiniest bit of legitimacy, especially when he's followed by these guys.
Who made the egg salad sandwiches?
Nah, I'm just talking shit. I don't know what's up with the sweaters, but these guys are the Force MDs, who actually had a really successful R&B career. And this is actually a pretty good performance, which makes it all the more hilarious when we try to follow those two acts with John Hood. But before Hood can take the stage, we somehow manage to get a two-man bar brawl. I mean, these are literally the only two people at the bar.
What the hell is happening?
Hey, listen up, chill out, no need
Oh,
to
no.
fight. Lady Alcohol already ripped you tonight. She
Stop.
beat you both without striking
Please,
a blow.
stop.
It's so hard that you don't even know.
What the hell is happening?
That's very good. I'm impressed.
I've got an idea. Why don't you come to my studio tomorrow? We'll cut a demo for you.
What? Are you freaking kidding me? I hope Ice-T shoots you in the parking lot.
I'll tell you what a lousy businessman I am.
Boy, is that the truth. Anywho, Andrew Duntz, Clay, and Dixie are now on the rocks, which is the kind of thing that happens when you talk to your girl like a Labrador retriever.
Dixie, come here! Dixie, come here now!
But Cedric somehow knows him and hires him to do some vague, unclear thing against Hood, which makes no damn sense seeing as Hood's been the only guy who's played square with Cedric the entire movie, but whatever. So Hood shows up to record his demo with nothing prepared. He's just gonna pull something out of his ass, which the producer thinks is awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
Time to make some magic.
Kids running wild through the streets. Mothers scrubbing floors so their kids can eat.
The name's Poochie D, and I rock the telly. I'm half Joe Camel and a third Bonzarelli.
But meanwhile,
I'm gonna fix your ass, Rappin' Hood.
so Andrew Duntz calls the cops on Hood's little brother for stealing Cedric's radio, and the cops spring into action like he's John freaking Dillinger. And somehow, this all supposedly happens within the 10 minutes that Hood is in the recording booth. Anywho, the producer is so blown away by Hood's mumble rapping, he wants to offer him a contract right then and there. But Hood's all, nah, I don't wanna. So Dixie says, Jesus Christ, you idiot. At least sign some papers so you don't get screwed over on the song you just recorded. Nah, they can keep the money. Even though this would, save grandma from eviction and make it so you no longer have to live in a shithole. Jeez, I've heard of street smarts, but this is some hardcore street stupids. So I'm just gonna fast forward to the rest of this plot because it's so mild. Hood confronts Duntz and nothing happens, then Cedric shows up and nothing happens, then Hood gets little bro out of jail and somehow there's snow everywhere now, so Cedric tries to freeze out the neighborhood by cutting off the heating oil, but Hood recruits the world's oldest hooker to distract the delivery guy in a truly disgusting sequence, while Hood and Boy steal his truck to bring heat back to the neighborhood. And since that plan didn't work, Cedric opts for full-on domestic terrorism via Andrew and his Dunclings. And Grandma here has got to have the slowest reaction time in medical history. But Ice, who let's face it is the real badass of this movie, has had enough and gets into it with Tito Jackson, which finally gets Hood to grow a pair and fight it out with the Dunster. But Hood chooses not to stab Duntz in the throat, because, seriously, who's dumb enough to go to jail for killing this idiot? But the fight to save the neighborhood has only just begun. What are we gonna do, Hood? There's only one force strong enough to beat these guys. Is it the power of rap? Yes, it's the power of rap. So remember that classic, super emotional scene from Mr. Smith Goes to Washington where Jimmy Stewart filibusters on the Congress floor? Okay, now imagine if he was rapping!
Can't lobby in Congress for what we need. We don't have lawyers to fight his greed.
Working the grill, Bill, it ain't so tough. But first of all, you got to check your stuff.
You cut our heat and you raised our rent. If he had his way, we'd live in a tent.
Plenty of space in the parking lot, but the little cars go in the compact spot. Spot!
If we all pull together and just stay true, I know we can do it. We can start anew.
Jesus Christ is my He's the son of the original G.
And this old white Republican has no choice but to get up and get down, completely reversing the decision he made only 1 minute earlier. That's the power of rap, folks. And to wrap up the movie, we get this final credit sequence with everyone rapping to the camera where every single character gets their own bars.
It may sound strange, but I have to say, you and your crew showed me another way.
Ain't not rap, I mean not rhyme, but I got something to say this time.
And I mean every character.
In this neighborhood, I got my steak, so I'll be baking my bread and cake. Hooray!
If the Greek god Zeus were here today, he'd welcome Hood home to stay. Chinese proverb still holds true. Do good to others comes back to you.
And it all ends with Hood signing his life away to the world's worst producer without even reading the contract. The guy is an idiot. So that was Rappin', a lame blip on the 80s pop culture radar. Would I recommend watching it? Yeah, no. See, Breakin' 2 is an awesomely bad movie. It's got the perfect mix of stupidity and spectacle to keep blowing your mind one moment after another. But Rappin' is as bland as, plain oatmeal. There's barely a story, it's just a bunch of poorly developed story threads with dumb dialogue and filled out with way too many random musical performances. So, unless you're a fan of cringy rapping or you got a crush on Mario Van Peebles, because let's face it, that dude is man pretty, I'd give it a pass. But on the bright side, it does have this guy.
God damn it, you're fired!